Oncolytic virotherapy, anyone? Not quite. This is your weekly life sciences business and deal update. In today's episode, we are looking at a new alliance between South Korea's LigaChem Biosciences 𝗕𝗜𝗢𝗚𝗓, 14108 and US-based clinical stage biopharmaceutical company NovaRock Biotherapeutics to develop novel monoclonal antibodies for antibody-drug conjugates or ADCs. The deal is worth up to $287 million or 370 billion won to LigaChem plus additional undisclosed upfront payment and equity investment from LigaChem into NovaRock. We'll also provide some preliminary valuation ranges for LigaChem shares, but please note this is not a formal recommendation and more of a sensitivity analysis around key value drivers. Before we begin, please hit that subscribe button to stay updated on all things life sciences and biotechnology business. Let's start with the deal itself. The agreement grants LigaChem exclusive worldwide rights to develop and commercialize up to 2 ADCs utilizing NovaRock's proprietary monoclonal antibodies. The first antibody is a tumor-specific antigen for glioblastoma, a deadly brain cancer, and the second targets a tumor-associated antigen expressed in triple-negative breast cancer, TNBC, among other cancer types. In return, LigaChem will make undisclosed upfront and equity payments to NovaRock plus additional payments upon achievement of certain development, regulatory, and commercial milestones. Financial details were not disclosed. But let's look at the product value proposition. ADCs have emerged as a promising oncology treatment modality by delivering potent cytotoxic agents directly into cancer cells while minimizing systemic toxicity. However, there are still several unmet needs in the field. Targeting high unmet cancers such as glioblastoma, TNBC, sarcoma, and gastric tumors. Existing ADCs have a limited therapeutic index due to insufficient tumor penetration and poor target specificity, leading to significant off-target toxicity and reduced efficacy. LigaChem's ConjuALL linker payload technology aims to address these issues by enabling deeper tumor penetration and enhanced stability, thereby improving both efficacy and tolerability. According to preliminary RWE data provided by LigaChem, now let's analyze LigaChem Biosciences using our SWOT analysis framework. Starting with the strengths, the company has a proven linker payload ADC platform validated in multiple ongoing collaborations including with Bayer, Bristol Myers Squibb, Sanofi, and others. This suggests strong platform capability and experienced execution with global biotech partners. As a result, the company has been able to advance multiple programs rapidly without having to invest heavily in building out its own internal capabilities. This platform approach should help maintain relatively low capital intensity compared to peers. As for weaknesses, the company has yet to advance any ADC assets to late-stage clinical trials. So there is still significant clinical validation required from its partners and licensees. Until then, LigaChem remains highly dependent on successful execution by its collaborators and licensees. And with multiple programs now entering early clinical trials, we could see R&D burn rate increase in the near term. Regarding opportunities, the company has positioned itself to address cancers with few effective treatment options, such as glioblastoma, which could help attract orphan or breakthrough designations down the line. If early data are positive, LigaChem could unlock significant milestone revenues and royalty streams from its platform partners. Additionally, the platform could extend beyond oncology to autoimmune or rare diseases in future iterations. Finally, as for threats, the ADC space is under increasing pressure from large-cap pharma players such as Pfizer, with its recent acquisition of Seagen for $43 billion. As a result, speed to clinic is critical to avoid redundancy and competition. Furthermore, changes in scientific paradigms, such as a renewed focus on bispecifics or radiopharmaceuticals, could divert attention away from ADCs. Lastly, the risk of overspecialization in an increasingly crowded oncology innovation space cannot be ignored. Now, let's look at NovaRock Biotherapeutics. NovaRock's strength is its proprietary antibody discovery engine with a track record of generating high-affinity, tumor-selective biologics. Its scientific management team has deep expertise in oncology and drug development, and the company's asset-light business model leverages licensing to monetize its technologies. As for its weaknesses, NovaRock's internal development capabilities are limited to discovery and preclinical studies. It relies on partners for clinical execution and commercialization. Moreover, the company has no clinical stage or approved assets yet. In terms of opportunities, NovaRock can expand into multiple ADC partnerships with different linker payload partners, such as the one with LigaChem today. By doing so, it can access global markets through partners like LigaChem and forge future alliances with larger big pharma companies. Each successful program represents significant value appreciation potential through milestone payments and royalties. As for threats, the ADC market is maturing and becoming highly competitive. Thus, speed to clinic is crucial to avoid redundancy and establish a foothold. Changes in scientific paradigms could shift focus away from ADCs towards other modalities like bispecifics or radiopharmaceuticals. Finally, there is a risk of overspecialization in the crowded oncology innovation landscape. So what does this all mean? What is our 5-year outlook, and how do we think about valuing LigaChem shares? We forecast that both companies will file for INDs and initiate phase 1 trials by 2025 or 2026. This represents the first major value inflection point. Positive early preclinical efficacy data would further bolster this outlook. Assuming a successful phase 1 readout in 2027, LigaChem could advance into phase 2 trials or secure out-licensing deals for specific cancer indications. This marks the second value inflection point. If all goes well, we could see market approval around 2028 and early commercialization via global partners. Value realization peaks if safety and efficacy lead to favorable payer reviews. Given the significant clinical uncertainty over the next 5 years, we see upside, downside, and base case scenarios. In the upside scenario, both assets successfully proceed through phases III and enter out licensing deals. Our risk-adjusted DCF supports a 250,000 to 300,000 won per share valuation. In the base case where one program advances while the other stalls or exits early, the adjusted DCF valuation falls to the 150,000 to 180,000 won range. In the downside scenario, where both programs fail to deliver clinical validation, the valuation could retract to the 100,000 to 120,000 won per share level, mirroring historical support. In conclusion, the ADC alliance with NovaRock represents a significant strategic bet on rare and hard-to-treat cancers using a differentiated linker payload platform. If clinical milestones are met over the next 5 years, the combination with NovaRock's discovery capabilities could yield high-value assets. However, realizing the full potential requires disciplined capital allocation and aggressive milestone management, as the commercial payoff remains tightly tied to near-term execution and trial outcomes. Thank you for watching.